Yeah, I know you old school. What's happening?
Bitch on my arm.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you a question, old school. How old are you, if you mind me asking?
I'll be 59, turning 6.
Now, in the city of Detroit, what is the condition of our people in the city of Detroit?
It's terrible.
It's terrible. What kind of man you want to be?
I'm an honest man, hard-working man, own my house, got 2 cars. I'm a hard-working man.
Okay, you a hard-working man. All right, let's see what type of man the Bible say we gotta be.
For the first King, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Read.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong therefore.
So God, this is David talking right now.
Okay.
You know King David, right?
Right.
King David is talking right now, young buck. Go ahead.
And show thyself a man.
How do you show yourself a man? Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
He said, do what?
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
So to show yourself a man is to keep the charge of God. Read. To do what? Read it again.
To walk in his ways.
You gotta walk in God's ways, bro. How you do that? Let me ask you a question, old school. How old are you, if you mind me asking?
I'll be 59, turning 6.
What's your name?
Ronald Scott.
What is it?
Mr. Ronald Scott.
Mr. Ronald Scott. Mr. Ronald Scott. Now, how long you been living in Detroit? Your whole life, right?
Yep.
Now, in the city of Detroit, what is the condition of our people in the city of Detroit?
It's terrible.
It's terrible. Now, my brother, I see you trying to make a beeline.
Because it's terrible.
It's terrible.
No respect. You can't pull up and they won't even move over.
All right, now, my next question is, why?
Because everybody want to be who?
I don't know. You tell me.
The man.
Everybody want to be the man. What about you? You want to be the man, Mr. Scott?
No.
What kind of man you want to be?
I'm an honest man, hard-working man, own my house, got 2 cars. I'm a hard-working man.
Okay, you a hard-working man. All right, let's see what type of man the Bible say we got to be. All right, you believe in God?
Yes, sir.
You a Christian?
I'm a Christian.
You a Christian in your heart and in your soul. All right, let's see what the Bible say. Watch this.
For the first King, chapter 2 and verse 2.
Read.
I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong therefore.
So God, this is David talking right now.
Okay.
You know King David, right?
Right.
King David is talking right now, young buck. Go ahead.
And show thyself a man.
How do you show yourself a man? Read.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
He said, do what?
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
So to show yourself a man is to keep the charge of God. Read.
That's right. To walk in his ways. To
Read.
keep his statutes.
To do what?
To keep his statutes.
Brother Scott.
I'm not
Scott.
perfect.
Brother Scott. To do what? Read it again.
To walk in his ways.
You gotta walk in God's ways, bro. How you do that?
The right way.
How do you do it? What's the right way?
Really, you want to know?
I want to know. School me.
A holy, godly man.
A holy, godly man. How do you be holy and godly, Scott?
Leave the earth living shit alone.
All right,
I'm just
so
gonna be real.
So Scott,
I'm wrong right now. I already know.
so then hold on, Scott. Don't
know,
say
bro.
you wrong and then walk away, bro.
Because I know I'm wrong.
Scott, but here's the thing, Scott. You an older man in the community, bro.
Right.
Believe it or not, us young men, we need you.
Hello.
You listen?
Hello?
We need you, Scott. Do you know what you need to
why
do?
I do this? I'm trying to impress the world. Hanging around niggas.
But Scott,
I'm just being
Scott,
real.
Listen, us young men, we need men like you. The older man that's been here. The older man that got experience.
Right.
What did God say? Read. So you gotta walk in his ways. Take it off. Keep it off. Keep it off,
I already know.
Scott. Keep it off, Scott.
I don't wanna lose
Because
my
keep it off. Put the glass in your pocket. Listen.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God.
And do what?
To walk in his ways.
Scott, you gotta walk in God's ways. Scott, read.
To keep his statutes.
To do what?
To keep his statutes.
Read.
And his commandments. And his judgments. And his testimony. As it is written in the law of Moses.
As it is written in the Bible. Scott, you as an older man, bro, it should teach you something. Give me that. Give me that. Your age, it should teach you something. Hey, sis, you listening?
I walked up to y'all.
This is for everybody. You got a
For
father. Hey,
everybody.
Scott, let me ask you this. Come here, sis. Come close. Come. You got a man in your life, sort of like Scott, older gentleman.
I got a father.
You got a father, right? What do you expect from your father?
Hey, you not subscribed to the page yet? Are you watching? You ain't subscribed? Come on, man, subscribe.
Show me.
I expect him to show me like how a man should be treated.
You expect him to show you how a man's supposed to treat you. How does a man supposed to treat a young lady, Scott? Like a queen? What else? Huh? What else? What else you think?
You the man of the household.
Uh-huh.
You the provider.
Uh-huh.
So you leading the way.
You leading the way. Come on, I'm listening.
I know you is, baby.
I'm listening.
I'm drinking right now.
Scott, listen, all right, so listen, sis, I asked you a question. I said, you got a man like this in your life. Give me, you got that what I wanted? Read it.
Book of 1 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
Come on.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
So let me ask you this, Scott, is the head of you Christ?
Yes.
You follow Christ.
Yes.
You love Christ.
I love it.
All right, give me that and John. So I'm about to read some stuff, sis. This is for Scott and this is for your father. This is for you. This is for everybody out here doing their thing, right? Listen, read that real quick.
But the 1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments.
So the love of God is to keep his commandments. Give me John 14, 15. You know what I want?
Yes, sir.
Give me that one. Because I asked you, do you love Christ? Is Christ your head?
Yes, sir.
All right, so how do we prove that? We prove that with this. Read.
Book of John chapter 14 verse 15.
Come on.
If ye love me.
Christ said what?
If ye love me.
What do you
love me?
Come on.
Keep my commandments.
So John, Scott, do you do that?
Okay, I'm gonna quit.
Scott, you can't quit, man. That's the problem with the black community today. We always quit.
Bring it out.
You can't give up. You gotta endure to the end, Scott. All right, Scott, I'm listening.
Okay, I smoked cigarettes for 35 years. I ain't cigarettes 12 years. Don't tell me what I can't do.
You said you couldn't.
You said it.
I didn't say nothing. You said you quit.
I said I'm gonna quit this. Then I say that.
Throw it away. Trash can over there.
That's right.
Go ahead, throw it away, Scott.
That's right.
There we go. What about that right there in your hand? What about that right there in your hand? There you go, Scott.
That's right.
You gotta throw it out. But where you going? Scott, you gotta come back, man. That was some good stuff you just did. But you gotta come back, though. You gotta hear the Most High God. You gotta hear Christ. Read it again. Read it again.
Chapter 14 verse 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
So if you love Christ, you're supposed to keep his commandments.
Right.
And you did a righteous thing by taking your hat off because believe it or not, that's the law of God as well.
Right.
Give me Titus chapter 2.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to show you something. This is why our communities are destroyed because we do not follow God.
That's right.
We don't follow God, Scott. And you being an older gentleman, you're supposed to be leading us young men in the way so we can treat young ladies like this according to the scriptures. So we don't have sex with them and leave them. So we don't make them baby mamas. So we don't whore them out. So we don't call them B's and H's. So we don't do none of them things. That's your job. You supposed to show us young men, right?
That's right.
What the hell you at? Titus 2, go ahead, read that.
But the Titus chapter 2 and verse 2.
Right here.
That the aged man be sober.
What the aged man supposed to be?
That the aged man be sober.
So Scott, you gotta listen to this, Scott. I'm a young man, but God told me it's my job to help my brothers.
That's right.
I'm not coming at you. This is me trying to heal you with the words of God.
Right.
Watch, read it again.
That the aged man be sober.
The aged man be what?
Sober.
So every aged man supposed to be sober.
Right.
So they can teach the younger man to be sober.
Right.
Because believe it or not, every man out here learn how to smoke weed from somebody older. Read.
Grave. Temperate.
You're supposed to be grave, Scott. Meaning serious. You're supposed to be serious about your business, young man. What's your name? What is it? Jamari. You're supposed to be serious about your business. The first thing you do is laugh. I said you both. Read it again.
That the aged man be sober.
So you got to be sober. You too. Read.
Grave. Temperate. Sound in faith.
You're supposed to be temperate, meaning have control over your emotions. Control over your impulses. Read.
And charity.
And charity. You're supposed to not smoke the weed so you can show the younger men to not smoke the weed. Read.
Verse 6. Young men likewise.
You're supposed to teach the young man likewise.
Exhort to be sober-minded.
Jamari, come here. Come close. You smoke, man? How old are you? You 16. You drink? You don't smoke or drink?
Right page.
But wait.
You on the right page.
You sure you don't smoke or drink? Scott, this ain't your time to exit, Scott. Scott, you gotta be right here in the midst, man. Come back. Scott, come back, man. Come on back. So, you don't smoke or drink. So, let me ask you this. Now, if Scott was your uncle, and you seen Scott drinking and smoking every day, Scott, you're a righteous example right now. We're using you for a righteous example. So, Jamar, if you saw Scott smoking and drinking every day, eventually would that get to you? It will.
It will.
It will. That's your young pride talk. It gets to all of us. It gets to all of us. Because guess what? If it don't get to you, it'll get to your boy, and then it'll get to you.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So it's imperative that all of our older men lead by example to show these young men.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is